So don't know how much of those verses I'll actually read, but that is the thought, that is the place, that is the scope that we'll be coming from tonight. Exodus chapter 13, 7 through 22. Then we'll pick up Exodus chapter 14, verses 8 through 31 to gain some understanding tonight. And for a thought, we'll use this as a title, Overcoming a Persistent Enemy. Overcoming a persistent enemy. Enemy is the word I want to use, but we can also throw in there challenge or obstacle.
Yes, sir.
Overcoming a persistent enemy, challenge, obstacle, issue, whatever word you want to use, that's what we're teaching on tonight. Overcoming a persistent enemy, issue, challenge, whatever word you want to use. Now, one of the things that I was kind of meditating on, and I shared this, I talked to Minister Black earlier today, and I shared this with him. This was probably, 3 or 4 o'clock, 3 something. And I said, I have been spending time with God, Sister Evans, like I'm supposed to. So I know it wasn't in the wrong by any way, shape, or form. I was on target, but it seemed like God wasn't giving me what to teach tonight. He was talking to me, Sister Lipscomb, about a lot of other stuff, about a lot of other things, about people. He even gave me a thought for Sunday, but didn't give me anything for tonight. And I said, Lord, really, why do we go through this? This is what I said to the Lord. I talked to him. Why do we go through this? Why? Seriously. I mean, I know you have all power. I know you're omnipotent. I know you're all these things. But why do we go through this? Why do we get stuff for everything else but the assignment at hand today? And so again, he talked to me like he normally does, and he told me just stay in there, stick with it, and I would find him. So as I'm sitting there, about 12, maybe 12:30 today, 1 o'clock today, the Lord dropped a thought in my heart about a persistent enemy. And I said, God, this is interesting because a lot of times, Minister Black, when we think about an enemy or an issue or a challenge or an obstacle, we don't always realize that most obstacles, most enemies don't quit.
Good point.
Even though, Brett Evans, you kind of like dealt with it head up, it still seems like the thing won't give up on you. You fought it, you had victories in the battle, mother, but still he comes back to fight again. What kind of persistence is this, that even when I've had my Sunday morning experience, I've had my time where I was at the altar and the issue that I was going through was addressed, I left the altar empowered. Yes. I got through my Sunday night and I was cool. But Tuesday around 3, here comes the issue again.
My gosh.
How do I overcome? How do I just put finality to this particular enemy? So tonight we're going to take a look at how to overcome a persistent enemy. Let's first start with a definition of the word persistent in case we didn't know exactly what it meant. The word persistent, I'm all English tonight. The word persistent means continuing or constantly repeated. It keeps showing up. Continually or constantly repeated. It's something that continues to exist. It's persistent, Rochelle. It's not quitting. It's not giving up. It's not over. He keeps showing up. And again, I said you can use the word challenge, you can use the word issue, you can use the word problem, but again, we're speaking of an enemy, so I got to give you what the definition for the word enemy is. An enemy is anything that hates you. It ain't even deep tonight. That's just real. Anything that hates you and wishes to injure you. An enemy, something or someone that hates you or wishes to injure you. An enemy is anything that is hostile to a cause or idea. So an enemy is anything or anyone that hates you and wishes to injure you. It is anything that is hostile to a cause or an idea. So in order for me, Mother, to overcome a persistent enemy, I first got to be very clear on who or what is my enemy. Yes. All right? Now, this is the problem we run into a lot of times, Deacon is Black, that we don't really truly identify the source, but more so we identify the thing. Here's the understanding. Okay, let's say, okay, I'm going to use Kiana. All right, so Kiana as being my daughter, all right, Rochelle, I understand that with that, it at no point in her life or my life, we will ever be enemies. I'm going to teach real good tonight. I felt something shift right when I said that. At no point, no matter how crazy she might act, no matter how crazy I might act, no matter how much we may or may not agree, the reality is, Sister Lipscomb, that because of her position in my life, we will never be enemies.
That's good.
All right? Now, so no matter how much she might get on my nerves, and she does regularly, no matter how much she might be all over the place with things she's trying to do, come up with, or whatever, I've always got to know that because of the source of who she is,
yes.
she could never be my enemy.
Yes, sir.
I'm trying to help somebody tonight deeper than where you even following me. Okay, so when Sister Coop, I understand that an enemy is never. She all right. When the enemy is never, the enemy is never somebody that at any point has loved me.
Right. How about that? Never.
It'll help me to understand that even though they might act a certain way,
good, sir.
They are never my enemy, but they may be influenced to become an enemy.
Oh,
okay,
that's good.
So if I'm still thinking that my wife is my enemy, that my son is my enemy, that my dad is my enemy, I'm never going to overcome that because they're not really an enemy. If the source of the person or the source of the thing is not something that wishes to injure you, even in this comfortable, uncomfortable, and disillusioned times, I'm never going to technically overcome because they're not really an enemy. Yeah. So let me give you a little help before I give you some understanding. So my prayer for those that carry my name should never be, well, God help me to overcome them, but rather it should be, God help me to understand them.
Okay. That's good, sir.
Help me to understand what's influencing the source. Because the source can't be my enemy.
My God.
Jesus. All right. So when I'm looking, Deaconess Black, to find understanding about why or where the influence is coming from, God said, I'll give you the ability to overcome the real enemy once you've dug deep enough to identify what's influencing the source.
Yes, sir.
All right, here's the problem. Sister Thompson, a lot of us, have a real big enemy that we think is an enemy, but it's not really an enemy because it's you. We battle with the inner us all the time. And we say, God, when am I ever be able to overcome this enemy? I'm trying to teach you tonight. Because the source, you can't be your own enemy. Help me here, Jesus. So if, Rochelle, I can't be my own enemy, but it seems like I keep putting myself in situations to make me fall, the question now has to become, what is influencing the source? What's influencing me to have this mental struggle? What's influencing me to still question the evidence or the existence of God in this thing? what's causing me to believe that God somehow can do everything else in my life, but he can't address this thing in my life? What part of me is causing me to be in conflict with me? In order for me to overcome, I got to be able to identify what's influencing the source. That was just a little point for us to think on tonight. Let's take a look at the text. We're in Exodus chapter 13. A little background here, and as God gives me the grace in days, months, years to come, we'll definitely do some real solid teaching on just the children of Israel and them being in slavery and bondage. But for the sake of those that maybe not have had the benefit of Vacation Bible School or Sunday School in a traditional extent, I'm going to give you the Reader's Digest condensed version to get you caught up to speed. All right, we identify back, and I'm going to probably preach from Exodus chapter 3 on Sunday. That's where I think the Lord's got me going. So you'll hear a little bit about that on Sunday. So let's just start from here. The children of Israel now are in captivity to the Egyptians, all right? They're in slavery, they're in bondage to the Egyptians. They work for the Egyptians. They're being slaved by them. God hears the cry of the people because God made a promise back to Abraham over 400 years ago that he was going to, in fact, bless his seed, that his seed would be a people unto him, and that they would be prosperous. So God remembered 400 years later what he had promised to Abraham. So therefore now God raises up this man by the name of Moses to be a deliverer for the children of Israel. They're working, they're slaving, they're going through what they're going through. And the Bible says that God speaks to Moses, Exodus chapter 3, on the backside of Mount Horeb. He talks to him and he gives him understanding about how, in fact, he's getting ready to use him as a deliverer to bring the people into freedom. As we go forward, God speaks to Moses. Moses says, God, I can't really talk. I can't really go. I ain't really qualified. I'm not really equipped. God sends his brother Aaron to come alongside to help him in the process. All right, Aaron and Moses are now together. God tells them, listen, I'm getting ready to harden the heart of Pharaoh. For you, you're going to go tell him, let my people go. He's going to tell you, no, you're going to go back again. You're going to go through signs, wonders. There are going to be 10 plagues. They're going to come through the land. At the end of the 10th plague, Pharaoh's going to end up letting you go. All right, all that happens in chapters 3 through 12 of Exodus. Now we find ourselves in Exodus chapter 13. God has spoken. Pharaoh has agreed to let the people of God go. But now here comes the challenge. They've left. They've gone. They're away. But Pharaoh wants them back. He's like, it was dumb of us to agree to let free labor go away. We're going to go get them. Somehow, Minister Black, Pharaoh hears that the children of Israel have now found themselves in a place where we have adopted as a saying, in between a rock and a hard place. They found themselves now, Tony Jr., encamped, and the Red Sea has become an enemy to them. I'm going to teach real good tonight. All right, the Red Sea has become their enemy because they're now brushed in a place where they're running from Pharaoh, but they're stuck. They have nowhere else to go. Pharaoh gets wind from some nosy transporter that they're stuck at the Red Sea. So Pharaoh says, we're going to pursue them. Here's what we're going to pick up. Exodus chapter 13, verse number 17 is where I want to start. Exodus 13 and 17. The Bible says this, and it came to pass, when Pharaoh had let the people go, that God led them not through the way of the land of the Philistines, although that was near. For God said, lest peradventure the people repent when they see war, and they return to Egypt. But God led the people about through the way of the wilderness of the Red Sea. And the children of Israel went up harnessed out of the land of Egypt. Harnessed simply means in order. And Moses took the bones of Joseph with him, for he had straitly sworn the children of Israel, saying, God will surely visit you, and ye shall carry up my bones away hence with you. And they took their journey from Succoth and encamped in Etham in the edge of the wilderness. And the Lord went before them by day in a pillar of a cloud to lead them the way, and by night in a pillar of fire to give them light, to go by day and night. He took not away the pillar of cloud by day, nor the pillar of fire by night from before the people. Let's get some understanding of what we just heard. So we hear that God has already commissioned Pharaoh. He's released him now to come and chase after the children of Israel again. God says something very clearly. The first point I want us to catch tonight in overcoming a persistent enemy is this. God, we must understand that God covers us from trouble we're not yet ready to face.
Good.
God covers us from trouble we're not yet ready to face. Let me say that again, because you need to make sure you write it down, that I'm going to help y'all give God some credit before this thing is over. God covers you from trouble you are not yet ready to face. Here's the understanding, Mr. Black.
Yes,
the Bible says that even though there was a quicker way for them to get to their promise, God would not take them the quick way, because he knew in the quick way they would have to experience war from an enemy that was bigger than them. So instead of taking them the easy way through their problem, he said, I'm going to take you the long way, because I know if you go the easy way and see fighting, you're going to quit on me before you get delivered. Teach tonight, Hinton. So when it is that it seems like, Sister Bertram, that God is keeping me in a challenging situation longer than what I thought he should have, what he's really trying to tell me is, I'm really keeping you from the problem you would have gave up on me over.
My God.
You saying, well, Lord, I've been looking and I've been searching and I've been trying to get this to line up for the last 6 months. God says, yeah, I could have done it for you in 2 months, but you would have quit on it in a month and a half. I'd rather take it a long way for you to get there.
Stay the course.
Than for you to get there quicker but not make it.
Wow.
So whenever I'm trying to overcome a challenge, I got to realize first that God is actually keeping me from something that would have made me quit.
Yeah.
I'm teaching real good tonight. So Rochelle, he allows us to go through challenges and trials for a longer period of time so that we don't quit before we get the result that we're looking for. So that means that even though I'm trying to overcome a persistent enemy, Brother Kanye, I've got to learn something from my enemy. And that's how to become persistent. If my enemy won't quit on trying to overtake me, why am I quitting on trying to defeat him? We gotta stop getting tired. I'm trying. We gotta stop getting tired.
Yeah.
Pastor, what do you mean? Sometimes we got issues, Matthews, that we see and we face every day.
Yeah.
And because today I don't feel like it, I'm just tired, I ain't gonna even deal with it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let this thing just fester and I'm gonna let it just stay out there because I ain't got the energy to deal with it. God says he's looking for us as his people, Sister Greer, to get some fortitude. Yeah.
That's a
that
word.
When we're fighting, we don't throw in the towel.
Yes, sir.
I'm reminded of a movie, Bro Bartnight. I told you I like to watch movies. This is actually a good movie, old school. Brett Evans, you rate up this alley with what I'm going to say on this. The Rocky series. The Rocky series. Now for real. The first one was great. It started being a little bit of decline as the series progressed. However, they found some rejuvenation heading into Rocky 4.
Yeah.
And as Rocky 4 started, there was a man by the name of Ivan Dragic that was the Russian. Yes. He was the Russian champion. He was so big, so strong. They felt like he was a machine. That when he fought, he carried so much weight to his punch that, he was knocking trees down and all this kind of craziness. And Apollo Creed, who's on the last leg of life for real, has been beat down by Rocky. They've had their bouts in the first three of these programs, these first three movies. He now wants to be the man to welcome Ivan into the Americas as it relates to boxing. And Apollo Creed feels like because he's gone toe-to-toe with guys like Rocky and he's endured such a fight that certainly Ivan wasn't going to be a problem for him. And so we get to the fight, Mr. Black, and as they're fighting, Apollo Creed is beginning to realize that maybe Ivan was a little bit more than what he was ready to have. And so as he's fighting, Bro Bartnight, check this out, his corner, his main trainer, sees the abuse he's taking. And he says to Rocky, throw the towel. Quit, call the fight.
Throw the towel.
But the champion said, don't throw in the towel. Now, Bro Bartnight, I want us to catch something here about persistence. Help me today, Jesus. As he's taking this beating that literally is causing his life to leave from his body, he yet has enough strength to say, don't throw in the towel. I want us to pause right there for a minute. Talking Night Evangelist Ground about overcoming a persistent enemy. So I'm trying to get us to gain right now a perspective on us gaining persistence in face of our enemy. What I found so interesting about that, now, even though it cost him his life, Because he died. He was killed in the ring. Even though it cost him his life, Tony Jr., he had such a determination that he said, even if it costs me everything I am, don't throw it in the towel. I hope somebody catching this tonight. That it's some stuff that's not even going to kill you, but you ready to throw the towel in.
My God.
It's some stuff that's just making you uncomfortable, but you ready to throw in the towel. Pastor, give me an example. Thank you, I will. The moment a challenge comes in any area of your life,
My God.
it can be health, wealth, energy, strength, whatever.
Throw it.
Lord, I'm done. I done gave it all, Jesus. You ain't gave it nothing yet.
It started.
It just started.
Yeah.
You ain't even got in it yet. Let me drop a lifeline for everybody on this side of my voice that's a member of this church.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just ask y'all, what's the name of the church y'all go to?
Bethel Temple Faith Church.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Maybe I thought it was something else. So if I go to a faith church, what do you think you're going to be challenged in the most?
Faith. My God.
Amen.
So what God is trying to tell us is,
Help us.
we've got to learn how to not be ready to throw in the towel when my faith was challenged. It's going to be challenged.
Yeah.
It's a faith check.
That's good.
Just like we have sound checks, mic checks, 1, 2, 3, faith check.
1, 2, 3.
You got to go through without throwing in the towel. All right. So the people, God says, I didn't even send them the way I could have sent them. Because if I'd have sent them that way, I know they would have quit. But I'm sending them a way that if they just trust me, they can make it and they won't give up.
Every step. Yes, sir.
Catch this though, Sister Aria. If he's got you going that way, that means you can handle it.
That's right. That's good, sir.
Because he knows had he sent you the other way, that would have been too much for you. Scripture says this. First Corinthians. I love this scripture. I quote it as often as I can. 1 Corinthians chapter 10. You stay at Exodus 13, but you need to flip just to make sure you pass taking the right scripture. That's cool too. 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verses 12 and 13. Scripture says, wherefore let him that thinketh that he standeth take heed, lest he fall. 13 says, they have no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man. But God is faithful, who will not suffer or allow you to be tempted above that which ye are able, but will also with the temptation, with the challenge, with the problem, make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear.
My God.
Here it is. So he says, even though he's not going to take you out of the challenge, the issue, the problem, or stop your enemy, he's at least going to give you the grace that if you feel like you're going to tap out, he'll kick in to give you strength to bear.
My God.
Here it is though. I got to be willing to accept when he tries to kick in. Teach the light Hinton. Okay. I've never been a fan of wrestling. Never. I never have been, never will be. But I had friends, Bro Kanye, when I was growing up, who that was their thing. These guys were all about WWE, WWF. If it was something coming on pay-per-view, they were buying it. I mean, it was all kind of crazy stuff. And I'm like, man, so because these were my boys, I said, well, let me at least give it a shot to see if I can get in with it. And so I would try to watch like Monday Night Raw or something, and you know, it was just so stupid to me. I'm saying, man, I can't, I'm sorry. Either I'm gonna have to just get new friends or y'all gonna have to doing this time, because this is dumb. So, but I would watch, you know, Bro Evans to try to be, you know, in. And I would find that sometimes in wrestling, they would have what you call a tag team match. You know, when these guys, and you know, this was back in the day, so you had guys like the ones I remember, like Undertaker and you know, those guys. So I'm old school with it, man. You know. So anyway, you know, these guys would be going through what they're going through, and it's so fake because you got a guy that's like 8 feet tall that's beating up a dude. I mean, that's losing to a guy that's like 5 feet tall. So I'm like, you can step on this guy. Anyway, so they would be going at it, bro, all night, and they doing their crazy little moves or whatever, and he's, you know, so beat up and he's stunned. But what I would find is, the way it would be scripted is, you know, he would somehow stumble to his corner. so that he could be tagged by somebody to help him out.
Yeah.
Here's the teaching. Even though it was stupid, even though it was, fake, it was still a principle God just dropped on me tonight. Even when, Sister Koo, I've been beat to a place where I can't even stand anymore, God will give me the grace to stumble to my corner.
That's it, sir.
He'll give me the grace to stumble to my corner long enough for me to be tagged out and for him to be tagged in. Here's the understanding. I've got to understand, Sister Thompson, that once he's tapped or tagged in, I'm supposed to stop fighting.
Oh, that's good.
That's right.
Can't get back in there. That's good.
But because I can't get back in until he comes and taps me.
Oh.
All right. So God says, when I see you're at the point, D, of really throwing in the towel, just realize if you can stumble to the corner, I got you from there. Because I won't allow more to be put on you than what you're capable of bearing.
Yes, sir.
But God knows my limit. So even when I'm thinking, okay, God, this is stumble time to the corner, God says, nope, you ain't even hit the limit yet. You still got some more fight in you, and he'll kick you until you get back in the ring. So we identify Exodus chapter 13 is where I am. That God says, I didn't send you the way of the Philistines, because you would have fought giants or faced giants that would have caused you to quit. So instead, I send you by a way that you think is a challenge when I'm really protecting you from the real challenge. He says, but God led the people, verse 18 again, but God led the people about through the way of the wilderness of the Red Sea. And the children of Israel went up harnessed, here it is, out of the land of Egypt. Again, I told you that word harness is actually a word for order.
Wow.
Okay? It's a word for order. So God says, whenever you're trying to overcome, this the title again tonight is overcoming a persistent enemy. First point I gave you is that we must understand that God covers us from trouble we're not yet ready to face. The next point I want to give you is this. That God actually, no, I don't want to go there yet. Y'all want to go there? No, I don't want to go there yet. Okay, so I ain't going to go there yet because he told me not to go there. So let me give you this. Let me say it like this. God never sends you into battle disorderly. You got a plan. You got order. You have instruction. He'll never send you to overcome something without first sending you with order. And for some reason, specifically in the 21st century church, the word order really has turned into a word of profanity. For some reason, it's like somebody says order, you're cursing at them. For some reason, it's just, the 21st century church and beyond, you hear order and people think, oh God, you're trying to take me to slavery. And